Welcome back to the Global Landscapes Forum 2019 here in Accra, Ghana, where we are working to restore Africa's landscapes from the ground up. My name is Natasha Elkington, your host for the last 2 days, as we're coming to the second day of our exciting event. And this afternoon, I have Tangu Tumeo from Malawi joining me. Thank you. Tangu is the Principal Forestry Officer for AFR 100 National Focal Point and works with the Ministry of Natural Resources, Energy and Mining Department of Forestry in Malawi. Right. Tangu is a forester by profession, and as a growing FLR expert, Tangu has come to appreciate the importance of managing trees and forests as part of an ecosystem for increased and multiple benefits to communities. Yes. Great. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. So please tell us, so in terms of the climate crisis, what issues is Malawi facing at the moment?
We've noticed over years, thank you Natasha for having me, but we've noticed over the years recently that droughts are getting longer, so we're having more dry spells, and if we have rains, they are not enough. It's either they come too much at once or too little. So what that is resulting into is food shortages that have become a yearly occurrence now.
Wow.
People are having to walk much longer distances to find water. And that's really reducing the quality of life in general of all Malawians, because over 80% of us depend on agriculture for subsistence, food production.
Yes.
So that's a huge, and even livelihoods. There are a lot of communities that would want to grow crops, produce excess and sell to have livelihoods. So that's really been impacted a lot by the climate change.
By the climate crisis, right? Okay. And then how is Malawi working to sort of tackle these issues? What are some of the approaches that are being used or tested or?
So there have been a lot of initiatives that are, over years that have the government and other stakeholders are implementing to help cushion communities' resilience to climate change. But of most recent has been the forest and landscape restoration approach that we're trying to use to ensure that we are all not working in isolation. We come together and deal with the challenges together. So in 2016, we did an assessment of the whole country, looking at what degraded lands we have, both on agricultural land and on forest. And this made us realize that in terms of opportunities for restoration, we have over 80% of the land that's there and available for restoration, meaning that we have agricultural lands that are not producing enough food. Yes, we have soil quality, and we have forests that are degraded. So what we are doing, what we did after the assessment is we came up with a national strategy on how now to do that, to improve on that. And we have 5 interventions where we're looking at improved agricultural technologies. We need to upscale that because the awareness is there, but the adoption has been low. We need to see how to incentivize communities to adopt these improved agricultural technologies to deal with the challenges that are currently ongoing. How do we grow crops in a drought season, for example? So we have a number of those initiatives in the strategy that we want to implement to ensure that we come together, we build a movement, a restoration movement across various stakeholders, across various financing partners, because otherwise projects implementing activities individually, separately, not talking to each other, we're just going around in circles. But if we work with local communities, we work together with the NGOs, and we target better, we find where the most degraded areas are, put money there, put resources there, put the energies there. We are hoping that by doing that, then we'll be moving. We'll graduate from areas that are most degraded to get to a point where we'll see some result, some impact from the various interventions that we're implementing. So the approach has really presented that as a big opportunity for making progress.
Okay, great. And then I understand that you're also the coordinator of for the Malawi Youth Forest Restoration Program. Please share a bit more about what you do here.
We are privileged. Last year, government through the president announced that we're going to have $7 million to work with the youth in restoring landscapes in various ways, including tree planting. So far last year we got $2 million and we worked with youth groups in communities to restore the areas within their communities. So we are planting trees, we are managing existing indigenous forests, making sure that we don't have fire in those forests. So by doing that, and they get a small incentive because,
Okay.
I mean, these are 64% of the population,
Wow.
and there is huge unemployment. So they undertake these forest tasks, these activities, and they get a small incentive at the end of it. But what we're hoping to get more than the financial incentive to the youth is the sense of ownership, that they have to have it in them to say, we can do something about the future that we want to inherit. It's not about tomorrow, it's about today. They should be part of the future. They should contribute to what they want to see tomorrow.
Right.
So the project is offering them that opportunity to work within their communities, to work in groups that then they target an area. They should also feel proud that we were here. This is our village, and we have contributed this way to restore the areas that have been degraded.
Yeah. Great, great. So what are the benefits? I was going to say, well, you kind of sort of mentioned it, but what are the benefits for communities?
So the communities should really see a change, because now, I mean, we've talked about women involvement in activities before. I mean, gender has been a thing, but now the focus is on the youth.
Right.
So we're now like holistically including everybody within the community. The youth shouldn't feel like they're out of it. Oh, it's my mother's job. It's my father's thing. They are in committees in the village. They should be the ones planting trees. But now we're including everybody. And by doing that, we're hoping that by improving the communities and the ecosystem services will begin to come back. And even with the FLR approach, we're looking for private sector investment that should eventually provide jobs. We're looking at investing in processing for forest-based enterprises or natural resource-based enterprises. So by encouraging that, then benefits will accrue to the communities, both ecosystem and other general livelihood.
Okay,
benefits.
great.
Yeah.
And I know we're here at the GLF. So how has this experience been in terms of like the work that you do? You learned a lot from other countries and other communities of things that are being done. What has been your experience by participating in the GLF this year?
It's always great to be in these conferences. For me, you learn a lot, because sometimes you feel like the challenges you're facing at home, you're just the only one having them. But when you interact with your colleagues, you know, okay, coming from government, how do we include the NGOs, for example? How to bring people to the table? And then you learn from your friends. How are they doing it in Kenya? How are they doing it in Rwanda? So we learn, and of course the new science is coming out every day.
Right.
So when you come, you listen, you ask questions, you go back with a different perspective, building on the knowledge that you had.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I really thank you for making the time to sit and chat with us.
Thank you.
And I wish you the great last day of our GLF 2019 here in Accra.
Thank you.
And we hope to move the conversation forward. And like we've been saying, it's about action now, you know, and we've talked a lot, but now it's time to act. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.